Hi, boys and girls. Today we will be learning how to subtract with regrouping in the hundreds and the tens. In previous lessons, we learned how to subtract with regrouping in the tens, and we learned how to subtract with regrouping in the ones. So let's look at our first problem, boys and girls. We will be subtracting 719 from 383. I'm going to look at my ones place because that is where we start when we subtract. And I see that 3 is less than 9. So I know that I do not have to regroup, that I can subtract my ones. 9 minus 3 is 6. Now I'm going to look in my tens place. And I see that I have a 1 and an 8. And I know that 8 is greater than 1. And I cannot take 8 from 1. So I need to go to my hundreds place and I need to borrow. So I'm going to cross out my 7. I'm going to make it a 6. I'm going to cross out my 1. And I'm going to add my 10 tens to my 1 10, which will give me 11 tens. Now I can subtract. So 11 take away 8 is 3. Now I can subtract in the hundreds place. 6 take away 3 is 3. So the difference is 336. And boys and girls, I want to make sure that I check to make sure that my subtracting was correct by doing the inverse operation of addition. So I'm going to draw my arrow and I'm going to put my 336 at the top and I'm going to add that to my 383, and we're going to see if I come up with the sum of 719. 6 plus 3 is 9. 8 plus 3 is 11. So I'm going to put my 1 and I'm going to carry my 1. 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. And my sum is 719, which equals the top number in my subtraction sentence, which lets me know that I subtracted correctly. Let's look at another problem. Here I have 537 minus 272. Again, I'm going to start in my hundreds place. I'm going to look on the floor and I see that there's less. So I do not need to stop. So 7 take away 2 is 5. Now I'm going to go to my tens place. And I notice that there's more on the floor. So I need to go next door and get 10 more. So I'm going to cross out my 5. I'm going to make it a 4. I'm going to cross out my 3. And I'm going to add my 10 tens to it. So now I will have 13 tens. And 13 take away 7 is 6. And 4 take away 2 is 2. Again, boys and girls, I want to do the inverse operation, which means I want to add to make sure that I subtracted correctly. So I'm going to add 265 plus 272 to see if I come up with the sum of 537. 5 plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. So I'm going to put my 3 in the tens and carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5. and I come up with the sum of 537, which is the top answer in subtraction, so I know that I subtracted correctly. Now we're going to look at a word problem. And our word problem says, Matt has 235 stickers. Zach has 153 fewer stickers than Matt. How many stickers does Zach have? Down here, I set up my subtraction problem. We're going to again look at our ones column, and I see that there is not more on the floor, so I can subtract my ones column. So 5 take away 3 is 2. In my tens, I see that there's more on the floor, so I need to go next door, and I'm going to add my 10 tens to my 3 tens, which gives me 13 tens. And 13 take away 5 is 9. And 1 minus 1 is 0. Again, I want to check and make sure that I subtracted correctly. So I'm going to add 92 plus 153. 2 plus 3 is 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. And I'm going to carry my 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Boys and girls, I noticed that I did not do this correctly. I need to go back and look at my subtraction because the sum I got here does not match the top number in my subtraction. So let's look at this again. 5 minus 3 is 2. 13 minus 5. Oh, when I did that again, I realized that I subtracted incorrectly, and I got an 8. So now, if I change my addition, now I see that 8 plus 5 is 13, so I have to make this a 3. And now the sum in my addition is the same as my answer. Talk using your math talk with your group, and good luck, boys and girls.